So we don't have that. And another thing too, that now some clubs are doing it, but a lot of clubs are not doing it. Right? Is when clubs in the United States are training the kids, they mostly focus on the technical abilities. Right? That's not bad. That's also good, right? But at the same time, a goalkeeper is always included in that training, which for me is not good. The reason for that is goalkeepers need their own specific goalkeeper training. And if they don't have that, you can't get mad at the goalkeeper if they're not, making good saves in the game. Because why? That goalkeeper the entire time he's been working on his foot skills, right? So he's not working on saving the ball here and there. Again, I'm not saying foot skills is bad, but at the same time, they also need both, right? They need to work on their foot skills. They also need to work on their hands, right? So a lot of clubs don't do that on the youth level. So obviously that's one. This club is so focused on, teaching technical abilities to the point where from let's say U8 all the way up to like U16, U17. That's basically what they do. That's what they teach kids. Passing, moving, passing, moving, passing, receive, moving, passing, receive, moving. So obviously, some of these kids don't even understand, spacing, right? They don't understand, sense of awareness. And another thing too is the another issue with the coaching side is uh, some of these clubs, right? When they put these drills out there, right, for the kids to do, they don't even tell the kids what's the purpose of that drill, what's the significance of that drill, and how they can apply that into the game, or how they can transition, how that drill is going to help them into the game, or how to apply it, or how to apply it in the game. They would just put up a drill and say, okay, you pass the ball to this person to run over there, and then when you get the ball, you pass here, you go there, you go that way, you go this way. Like the kids, they're doing it. It looks good. It look well, but at the same time, they don't know, what's the purpose, right? How is it going to help them? How can they apply this in a game? So obviously, that's another issue right there, right? Because if players are just passing and doing whatever, then to them it's just like, okay, it looked good, and to the parents on the outside, it looked good, and somebody else on the outside looked good. But if they don't know, they don't get that message in the head and say, okay, hey, we doing this drill because it pertains to overlapping, for example, right, or even underlapping, right, or it pertains to getting out of pressure, you know, or it pertains to a sense of awareness, or pertains to spacing, or pertains to you know whatever, right? Now that's another issue too. Is most of this stuff that kids are being taught are mostly just focused on offense. It's rare for kids to that you see clubs that are teaching defensive stuff. That say, okay, hey, you know what? Let's focus on defending. On this day, strictly focus on defending. On this day, strictly focus on offense. And that's an issue. So since a lot of people don't do that, obviously that causes problem. Now, for example, I can tell you that that's something I do with my kids when I coach. Um, you know, one day we do strictly defending, right? That's the whole day that we focus on. The next day we do strictly, offense, and that's what we focus on. Again, different components of defending, different components of offense, but the purpose of that training for that day is strictly going to have a topic. It's either going to be defending, right, or it's going to be offense, right? Offense topic or defending topic. So a lot of people don't do that. So obviously, when you put these things into place, right? Or when we don't do these things, it causes problem, obviously. So it's hard for you to see, top-notch athletes, because that tells you that there's no organization, right? And that's another thing. We're not organized, because if we're organized, we'll be able to, produce top-notch athletes in the men's side. So that's another issue. But again, like I said, the pay-to-play system is not, it's not the problem, right? The pay-to-play system works in the United States for all the other sports, right? But when it comes to men's football, aka soccer, it's a problem. And I think, some of those issues I've mentioned, I think, are some of the issues that I think if we fix some of that, it can help. And I think it would be able to um, help produce, top-notch athletes that we can put in front of the world and say, hey, look at us. You know what I mean? We're not just good in those other sports. We're also good at this, because a lot of people think that, well, the reason why U.S. Men's is not producing, sorry, I just want to laugh because I think it's funny and stupid at the same time. The reason why U.S. men is not producing top-notch football, aka soccer players, is because those top-notch athletes are playing different sports like basketball, U.S. egg ball, aka football, baseball, hockey, swimming, gymnastic. Wrong, because you can't tell me, you know, all those guys just decided to say, hey, well, you know what? I'm not playing soccer. I'm gonna play, this other sport because I'm gonna be good at it. Because I'm the best athlete, right? So I'm gonna go play that. No, that's wrong. It's because we're not producing, we're not producing top notch athlete because we don't have a system to produce top notch athletes, especially on the men's side. So, again, in conclusion, pay to play is not the issue. You know, the issue is a lot more than that. So I just want to clarify those other people out there that posting all these videos on social media saying, "Oh, yeah, the U.S. is not producing top-notch athletes when it comes to youth, or men's, football, aka soccer," is because we have a pay to play. Well, prove me wrong. So again, anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to the video if you're new. Definitely want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this? Let's start the conversation going. Thank you guys very much.